of the final video. This is Mary Ann Ward again, and I am interviewing my patient, Mr. Santa Claus. Mr. Claus has taken time out of his very busy schedule to come and keep his appointment, which is says to me that he is very concerned about his health and he's willing to do his part to maintain his health. So in an assessment for congestive heart failure, I'm going to talk about how I would assess and then do a review of systems at the same time. So going head to toe, we are going to ask about mentation. So, are you feeling okay today?
No.
Okay, tell me what's going on.
I keep running out of breath. Just walking up that flight of stairs to your place.
Oh.
I run out of breath.
Okay. So, are you feeling short? So you're feeling short of breath with exercise?
Yes.
Okay. How about lying flat? Is it okay for you to lie flat?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you can lie flat, okay. You don't need to be propped up with pillows.
No.
All right, and so shortness of breath with activity. Are you awakened during the night with periods of shortness of breath?
No, I don't wake up at night.
Okay. All right, during this time I would be assessing his lungs. I would be listening for crackles, rails, or diminished breath sounds. So moving on, I would like to talk about mentation at this time. Do you have any problems with feeling dizzy?
No.
Lightheaded?
No.
Forgetful?
What?
Forgetful at times?
Yes.
And of course, this could be a sign of congestive heart failure, or it could be that as we become less young, not old, that forgetfulness can be a problem. I would also be assessing his circulation, his jugular vein distension. When I would do that, I would lie him at a 45-degree angle, have him turn his head to the side and assess the jugular vein. Moving on, I would be listening to his heart and listening for irregular heartbeats or muffled heart sounds. Are you having any problems with chest pain?
No.
Okay. Any pain radiating to the jaw, to the left arm, upper back?
No.
No chest pain. Wonderful. Do you ever feel palpitations?
What's that? I feel my heart going bang, bang, bang in there sometimes. But
Sometimes the heart is pounding. Do you feel like it's out of beat?
no.
Okay. Heart's not skipping a beat. When you feel the heart pounding, do you feel dizzy or lightheaded at that time?
No, but I'm sure out of breath.
Okay, all right. Moving right along, we're going to talk about the abdomen because there is a tendency with congestive heart failure to hold fluid, develop some ascites. At that point, during a physical exam, I would be listening for bowel sounds and also palpating to feel for any fluid, especially in the right upper quadrant. Are you feeling any fullness to your abdomen?
No more than I have for the last couple 100 years.
Okay. Any problems? Have you noticed a recent weight gain that you cannot account for?
No, I know why my weight goes up.
Okay. Of course, we haven't been through the cookie eating night, so we need to be careful with the cookies and milk if you've been putting on weight. Have you noticed any change in your eating habits where you had become full faster?
No.
Okay. Any nausea after eating?
No.
Okay, excellent. We're going to move to the next system. I would be assessing for edema, especially to the lower extremities. Have you noticed ankle swelling more toward the end of the day?
No.
No problems. Okay, so no problems with swelling. That's wonderful. At the same time, of course, I'd also be looking at the condition of the skin and the color of the skin and checking those peripheral pulses. All right, moving right along. And finally, I'm going to have a little conversation with my patient, Mr. Claus, about congestive heart failure and some of the things that he needs to look out for. So, I would say during the year you are relatively busy throughout the year, except you then have a very busy time. So I'm going to use that to explain how your heart works when you become less young. Your heart is a pump. And as we become less young, it takes a little bit more time and a little more effort for that pump to work. Sometimes, as the heart is pumping, it becomes overloaded, just like your assembly line. So when your elves are working on the toys and it's getting close to crunch time, they may be working faster and faster, which can end up with things clogging up on the back end. So that's kind of what happens with your heart. As the pump functions a little bit less efficiently, things start to back up and back up and back up and back up. And eventually you can have that shortness of breath, you can have that fluid in the abdomen, and you can also have some circulatory problems at the furthest point from your heart, which is, of course, your legs and feet. I know you work fairly steadily through the year, and you are probably walking, which I would suggest when you're sitting at your desk, every hour or two, it would be good to walk through your shop, about 10 minutes at a time, to keep that circulation going. But I know one day a year, you have a very extensive trip. So one of the problems with long travel is when you're sitting and you're sedentary, the blood tends to pool in the lower extremities and you can develop a blood clot. So what I would suggest to you is that in addition to the weight, which can hamper your ability to go up and down those chimneys, what I would suggest is that when you make your frequent stops on this very long trip, to walk around a little bit, and I know you're on a time constraint. I know you don't have a lot of time to do this. So optimally, it would be best if you could get up and walk around for 10 minutes between stops, but I know that's not going to work for you on this very long trip that you have. So my suggestion would be to get some compression stockings, also known as anti-embolism stockings. What they do is they compress the leg and they don't allow the veins to stretch or distend, which keeps the blood pooling in those areas. So if you keep things nice and compressed, it will keep that circulation working a little bit better. So on these long trips, in order to protect your circulation, my advice to you would be to get some compression or anti-embolism stockings. And watch all those milk and cookies.
I do every one.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Claus.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. I'll send it to you.